नमस्कार, वेलकम टू कॉमन इंडियन वॉइस। आजकल हम लोग एडवर्टीजमेंट्स देखते हैं या कुछ भी टीवी पे मूवी देखते हैं। क्या एक चीज पूछ रही हूँ मैं अपने श्रोताओं को, इज इट पॉसिबल टू सिट विथ योर फैमिली एंड सी देम? दैट इज द मेजर रीजन। आज अगर हम लोग कुछ ज्यादा बोलेंगे ना तो हमको तो रिग्रेसिव बता देंगे, मगर अपने घर में क्या आप लोगों को अनईजी नहीं लगता है? पहला क्वेश्चन। सेकंड क्वेश्चन है कि भाई क्यों ये परवर्जन क्यों हो रहा है? फिर हम लोग चिल्लाते हैं कि भाई औरतों की तरफ नजरिया खराब है, फिर हम लोग चिल्लाते हैं कि भाई औरतों के साथ मोलेस्टेशन होता है, रेप होता है एंड औरतों को बहुत कुछ सहना पड़ता है। अगर हमारा सोसाइटी डिप्रेव्ड नहीं हो रहा है तो फिर ये सब क्यों? ये क्यों हो रहा है? व्हाई इज इट ऑन राइज? इसके पहले भी मैं इसके बारे में चर्चा कर चुकी हूँ। आज हमारे साथ फिर से विदिशा बैनर्जी फ्रॉम कैलकाटा। शी इज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर. The best thing about us about her is, she does not mince words. She has the guts to call a spade a spade. So welcome Vidisha ji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vidisha ji, मेरे questions के बारे में आपको क्या कहना है?
You see, let's start. शाम को क्या होता है कि everybody in the house normally used to sit and watch TV serials. खैर वो दिन चले गए when there was हम लोग and देख भाई देख and all that. We've moved into now it is more regionalized Bengali serial, which is good. It is good for the industry. We started with something called Ek Aakashe Niche, which was a typical family drama, which was very good. I myself have watched it. It was, how family goes through stress and strain, a joint family. That is why that was good. But slowly that moved from there to a very strange genre. Now the serials are, there's one guy, there are two girls interested. One is a married, his wife. The other one is another woman who will do anything to, get him. And it somehow ends up that the man marries both of them. One house, one wife is staying on the ground floor, the other one is staying on the first floor. Now, what is this? Is this society? Are we making this the new norm? Is this what the children will grow up watching and understanding? This is a question I keep asking. I mean, this is really, really sad. Then came OTT. It wasn't so popular. It became popular in every house, in everybody's mobile since the pandemic. Excellent. We had, we watched a great series on Netflix and all. They have everything from war series to, horror to whatever, everything. Then came up this Bengali platform, very exciting. We are doing excellently well. There's a certain platform and my husband said, let's watch what they're producing in Bengali. Some of the productions are really good. But then, since there is no, censor board there, unnecessary scenes of sexual content where it is not necessary. Now, this is for TRP, I understand, but there is a limit. Now, when you were watching it thinking it's a horror story or a murder mystery, I was sitting with my daughter, my husband and me, we were watching it on the television. And there it started. And we, my husband and I didn't know what to do, whether to kind of skip it, stop it, switch it off. It was so embarrassing. And it went on and until I said, let's not watch it any further. But it is supposed to be a good movie and a psychological thriller about a psychopath, a lady psychopath killing and all that. But unnecessarily, just to give it a little masala to the story, this is what they do. Now, do we need this? Why at this? Now, what is happening? The children are growing up seeing this as the new normal. They are seeing this. This is affecting the young minds. Today, I don't know what my daughter thought, what she's thinking, what she's going back and discussing with her friends. Because, she's a 15-year-old, so they have their own world. And this is now what is happening is that the society is slowly, this is acceptable. I mean, this is okay. A man can have an extramarital affair. So big deal. I mean, they show it in all the serials. It is okay. The man can have two wives, which is legally also not acceptable in this country. So this is how slowly the morality of the society is getting eroded. And we, in the name of entertainment, are allowing it. Okay, forget television and all that. Let's talk about things like, advertisement. Simple, slice ad, as we were discussing before, where Katrina Kaif comes to drink it. Now, it's an excellent, we've all had a maza and all that. It's an excellent mango drink, awesome. I mean, does it have to be so erotic that, a drop falls on her lips and then she curls up her lips and she drinks it? I mean, what is there so erotic or exotic about a mango drink? It is a mango drink. One can talk about your friends can drink, you can drink it anytime, you can drink it throughout the season when there is no mangoes available. There's so many ways to put it forward. I mean, we've seen advertisement in the past, Limca, lime and lemony Limca, fun time, Limca time, young time, Limca time. So we always thought Limca was the hip and happening thing for the young people, with, planes coming down, people dropping Limca bottles on the beach. That is so much good. Then we had something called normal is boring. It really attracted the minds of the young generation. But it was never like this, never talk, kind of erasing the line of morality. So what are we doing? Are we slowly putting in the West? Are we kind of preparing ourselves to get into that box, definition of the Western world, where morality is, so passe, you are so backdated because you have that moral, this is right, this is wrong, you are, like a nun in the convent. It isn't. There are basic, some definitions in a society. The society has to run. Even in the past, when women were free, when in the Aryan, as we were discussing, in the Vedic age, there were still some norms. There were some certain norms that were there, that life was led according to those norms. That's how the society grew. But what is this? Everything is okay. And no wonder there is so much of rape, there's so much of, deprivation, there's so much of, young people taking up to crimes because they think it is okay. Yeah. Why? It's normal. Yes.
I'll tell you, you tell them to, that why are you showing this? The prompt answer is that, it sells. I want to bring up Amul over here. Did you see the Amul ads even today? And can these companies say that Amul does not sell? Amul does not follow all these things, but Amul sells. So,
Yes.
this one argument given by them, I think is being debunked by those ads which don't show all these things, and yet they are doing very well.
Yes.
Then second thing is, I find it more irritating when, people in the guise of modernity, they just come and they just say that, what is actually wrong in it? Why are you so backward, like you said right now? And what is so backward in being moral? Why should we not have any ethics? We pride ourselves about our civilization being one of the oldest, and we pride ourselves in being, Indian, Bhartiyata. Now you talk about Bhartiyata, it seems as if it is an abuse. Oh my God, you're talking about Bhartiyata. Oh my God, you're wearing a bindi. But the very people who talk about bindi, Mangal Sutra and all those things, and they try to deride, are the ones who are communists, obviously, who have big bindis, outrageously big bindis. And
Yes.
then, they come and they lecture. Then they say that, oh, no, this is not the way to bring it. I have a son, you have a daughter. You spoke about your daughter. I have a son, I speak about everything to my son. But then, I have a thin line, which should be there, because, tomorrow my son should not, take liberties with me. Come on, I'm his mother. The respect factor should be there. And if I do not teach my son, then, I do not have any right to go and tell anyone else, what are you doing? My son needs to learn the things. And for that, I tried. Yes, even he was very young. He did not understand. Sometimes the ads would go on and I would always switch. But as my mind, it would go on. I'm switching it off. What impression is going in front of my child? What is he going to think? Is he going to think, "Arey, mummy kyun छिपा रही है?" What is there? Curiosity rise होता है. मैं आजकल जो देखती हूँ ना, मुझे I get so irritated. मेरा कहना वही है. Why is it so necessary? Why is it so necessary to show all the things which make you embarrassed? which make you uneasy. And in the name of modernity, what kind of modernity is that? मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है. Are you not modern enough? Am I not modern enough? We are thoughts progressive होना चाहिए, but आप instigate कर रहे हो. You are instigated getting with your movies, with your ads, with your write-ups. Why? Why is it not necessary?
I'll tell you a funny thing. I'm from the hospitality sector. My main, was when I used to work before I started my own venture. Now, when I got married, my in-laws, okay, not my immediate in-laws, but the greater family, they're very orthodox. So they were like, oh, Baba, that hotel, a female working in the hotel.
I have also
character
worked.
Is always questionable.
I have also worked.
So the character, and it's a big question mark on the character. So they used to indirectly question me. So what you do? So you serve drink? I said, no. I said, well, I would have loved to be a bartender because it takes a lot of skill to be a good bartender. And it's a huge paying job. But no, unfortunately, I was in sales and marketing. So I'm not a bartender. But yes, I would have loved to be. And even service people, it's a talent. I mean, carry all those plates in one hand and walk across and serve without dropping it on somebody's head needs a lot of practice. It's not something that is easy. So I used to tell them, but the question. But the funny thing is this, that they who, kind of, made raised eyebrows and hissed behind my back that she's from the industry and she works in the hotel, all sit and watch the serials where the man is married and has another wife, then it is okay. And they can't miss a single episode. So, I mean, I don't understand what is this double standard all about. So if you are so moral to question a lady who works in the industry, hospitality, you are okay with that. I mean,
when I started my job, that was my first job. I worked in a 5-star hotel for a front office. That was my first job. Then I switched over to teaching and everything. I still remember I got letters that you better leave the job. What kind of job are you doing? I said, oh, what's wrong in it? No, you're not supposed to work in a hotel. But then, as you said, these very people are very cool with the propagation of the other woman. What do you want? To break the houses?
Just
what
imagine.
Kind of nonsense is this?
And I used to tell them, do you even have any idea? We are, when our office starts at 9, which means the morning meeting starts at 9 o'clock. We need to be there by 8:30 every morning to get ready for the morning meeting. And then most of the days, like all of you pack off at 6 o'clock, hoteliers can't because there is some important guest checking in, you need to meet, or there is this, that. And we are working till about 9 o'clock in the night and coming back home and, doing our household work. It is not easy. Rain, water, temperature, stomach ache, and we are still smiling, looking, $1 million out there. And it is a big acting. It's like my HR used to say, my training person used to say, it's like light, camera, action. The moment you're out of the locker room,
Customer
it's like the camera
right.
and the light. Yes. And it is since the time you, kind of walk into the front of the hotel till the time you, punch out, you're constantly under the camera. So your performance have to be correct. So I said, do you know even what we go through as people? And we kind of hide to put up the best smile and always look good and always so friendly. It's not easy. But people don't understand. But that's what I'm saying. This is so much of dichotomy in this society. People who tends to be the moral guardian of the society have such a lot of dichotomy in them. They kind of raise question if you come back late from work, that why were you working so late? How many women work in your department? But it is okay with them to watch all this on television. Nobody says that what kind of ads are running. This is so sad. This is really, really, really sad. It's like, can you imagine a chief minister saying openly that I tell married women to go out and have affairs if you want to?
Disgusting.
And, being a lady, you're saying that. I mean, what are you saying? Can you even say something like this? I mean, people can laugh and joke about this. We made a big joke about this, but it is so. People tomorrow, if my husband turns around and says, so what, I can have 2 other women in my life. The chief minister said so.
Yeah, moral corruption is on the rise. Absolutely.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
where am I? Where are we? What are we doing? I mean, I'm at a loss of words, at times. And sometimes I look back and I think whether what we learned in school, like this can't be done, that can't be done. Were my teachers wrong or my parents wrong? Sometimes I wonder. I mean, sometimes I really, really wonder. It's like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, even when as a teacher, when I sit down and like I see things, some of them we tell them in a generalized words, and we tell them that keep away from such things. You should have, don't, never forget that you are representing your family when you go out. At the end of
exactly.
the day, you're representing your parents. You're representing the way they have brought you up. But then, the same
True.
child, as you said, sees all these things and sees that, okay, fine, my mother tells me this, but she's watching something which is atrocious.
True.
What is she
True.
learning? And then, we have a lot of problems. And like for any of the people, women, when they are victimized, they go through a molestation or anything of that sort, there is a character assassination that the woman must be bad. All these
Yes.
things, you know I think the whole situation, if you look at it, it's nothing but an arrangement of convenience. Whatever is
Exactly.
convenient for us, we'll take it. The rest of it, we will name it as regressive. You dare question
Exactly.
what we think?
True.
Oh my god, you are not fit to be in the society.
True. Like, I was watching this movie called Chehre. There's a monologue by Amitabh Bachchan on the right and wrong of the society. This is exactly what he was saying, end of the movie, that the gist of it is just because everybody is doing something wrong doesn't make the wrong right.
Exactly.
He was playing the role
Absolutely.
of a lawyer and he was saying that just because people tend, they have not got caught by doing this crime doesn't make the crime right.
Did not take
A
place.
crime is a crime. Yes.
Hmm.
What he said, that when a rape happens, it doesn't happen once, because for the next, okay, let's say the man has also got caught. There's a case running, but every day, because of how the judiciary is in this country, for the next couple of years, and that can get dragged on for years and years, that girl and that family is called every day to court in front of more people, and kind of made to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again every day, day in and day out. So it is not the rape that happens one. The victim is raped every time by so many unknown men over and over again. So what is this? Instead of giving her justice, in the name of giving her justice, we're actually kind of raping her over and over again. So
Exactly.
this is, this is it. Why is it that it can't be taken once? And that is it. The verdict is there. Why does she have to stand in front of 10 odd men every day and keep repeating what happened to her from the day, from the beginning? Why is it? So this what I think is the truth. I think this is that is why the society is what it is. It is, it's like the moment a person keeps repeating, it's like, you enjoy it, and if you forget a couple of things over the years, then tum to aise hi bol rahi thi. When people say ki, she was wearing this or she was out till late, so she deserves it. How do you not know that she was working late because she needs to feed those hungry mouths back home? Right? So many times we don't know the story.
Yeah.
There is another part of the story. If she is doing a late night shift, is because she needs that money to run. There's so many people, and I see these ladies working in the mall and all, and I ask them, those housekeeping ladies, till what time? They say, by the time we change and leave, it's almost 11 o'clock. 10:30, 11, because the washrooms are open and we have to keep standing in the washroom and cleaning them, and then we kind of change out and go. And then I say, how far do you live? Some say, from here we go to Shialda station, we take a local and then we go and all that, and we reach very late, and then there's a cycle kept and we cycle down to our house, which is almost like 12:31 in the night. I said, this is not safe. And he says, but tell me, if I don't do this job, what will I do? I mean, this puts hot food on the plate. It ensures my children go to proper school and have education, because my husband doesn't do a good job. He's also doing some odd job somewhere. Now, will you point a finger at that lady? But they say that, yeah, the neighbors say, I come back late. Mall mein kya karti hai ye? Are? She says, do they know that I clean people actually shit because people badly use a public toilet? And this is Sarah, another thing that it is not related to this, but I will say, when you use a public toilet, don't you think it is your responsibility to use it properly like you would do in your own house? But just because there are...
That's the very reason I avoid. I don't use.
What is this? I mean, you use it in a way as if, mera kya, ye mera ghar ka nahi hai. But what is this? This reflects your upbringing, your mentality. I think there's a general degradation of way people think. People call me backdated because they think that, I'm very moralistic. Look, if I have to show my legs, I will wear a pair of shorts or a Bermuda. But I will never pull up my sari, no matter what. A lot of people say, oh, it's so hot, and they pull up their sari and they raise an eyebrow if you go out in a pair of Bermudas. If I need to show my legs, I will wear a Bermuda. If I wear a sari, it remains still there, no matter if it's water, it is whatever, I will never pull it up. That's it. That's how life should be. Absolutely. I mean, why is it? There is a norm. I think its time has come as mothers, as teachers, as to go back and tell that there is nothing wrong in being, accepting morality. There's nothing wrong in it. Morality doesn't mean you can't wear a short skirt, you can't, have short hair, you always have to, be. It's not that. When they say chopping your sari off in the length of your hot pants to show that, you are modern, there was an ad by Morrison. It was on Twitter. It was a big uproar on Twitter, if you remember, a couple of months back. I said, can you do that with the black tent? Can you also have a model dressed in the black tent, chopped till, the length of a hot pant and say, freedom of choice of a lady? You can't do that. You're only doing it with us. You're doing it with a sari, you're doing it with a ghagra. What's wrong? What's wrong in this? I mean, just because I wear a sari, you see, don't judge me by my dress on my, my standard of, just because I am wearing a sari, I am not backdated, I am not prehistoric. It is your thoughts, right? Absolutely. Whether I'm willing to accept to live in the modern terms, whether I am doing which is modern. I mean, we've moved from typewriter to, texting and email and virtual emails. But we are, but that's modernity. That's how you should move with time. That doesn't necessarily mean that I am going and, by sleeping with 10 men and it's okay and it's cool to have multiple partners. No, I don't think so. And when I say this, people say you are backdated. And I don't blame them who come and say this is okay, because that's what they see it. Well, that's what they read in the magazine. That's what they see on television. That's what they see on movies. They say that's cool. That's absolutely fine. So what's wrong? The generation is growing up seeing somebody caught with drugs, and the punishment, whether it will happen or not, is a different question. Already there's a huge support in the favor of that boy. I mean, it's 23, you're not a boy. I was already working, but okay, let's call him a boy for the sake of it. There's a huge support. So he's already on the thing that it is okay, maybe, to take a drug. So in our time, we were like, druggie, drug addict, junkie. So it was kind of, moral, you were kind of, the whole society looked down on you. Here it is cool. If I take drugs, I'm a cool cat. If I drink and make a scene of myself, it's cool. It's okay. It's new normal. It is not normal. It is not.
It's not normal.
It is never normal.
Actually, when I think, like I normally avoid making statements, such things, because, as I said it before also, I said it to someone else, like it's so easy to point fingers at others. Like you said, the woman is working because she does not have a choice. She has to work. Right. But then there are fingers pointing at her. And the same thing happens, when you're a little bit affluent, then also what is happening at my place, I will keep it under the carpets. I won't look at my kids, but then, yeah, I will look at what my neighbor is doing, what someone else is doing, yes, and I will be happy with that. Well, what kind of society are we in that we are happy that other kids or other people, other women, they are going down. And it is the middle class, upper middle class. I don't know much about higher means higher groups, income groups. I don't know much about them. The circle I move in, these are the people who are actually coming across as hypocrites. Many of them, they will judge you for what you're doing, and at the same time they will not look at themselves, and they will, as you said, they will not look at the situation. You don't name and shame people just because of one kind of profession, and at the same time you accept all the depravities that is going on around you.
Yes.
I was sitting and watching a serial with my son. I started watching it because everyone said it's very nice, that Mirzapur thing.
Okay.
After two such scenes, my son just switched it off, and he said, "यार एक serial ढंग का नहीं बना सकते क्या? I can't watch them with you. I cannot enjoy." So we go back to Harry Potter. I actually, and I just want to tell the viewers also. I want to tell the viewers, आप लोग हमें जरूर लेबल लगाएंगे एंड बोलेंगे कि भाई ये लोग बैकवर्ड है, ये लोग तो पुराने जमाने में बैठे, मगर आई थिंक पुराने जमाने में हम लोग बुरे नहीं थे. आपके पेरेंट्स भी पुराने जमाने के हैं, क्या आप उनको भी डिस्कार्ड कर देंगे? आपके दादा दादी भी पुराने जमाने के हैं, क्या उनको भी डिस्कार्ड कर देंगे? और अगर कुछ हो जाता है उसके बाद हो हल्ला मचाना, क्या आप लोगों ने ये बात सुनी है कि प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर? अगर आप हर जगह पे गंदगी दिखा रहे हैं, या हर जगह पे, मतलब नॉट ओनली ऑन स्क्रीन, लोगों के सोचने की तरीका भी बहुत सारे लोगों की चेंज हो गई, सबकी नहीं है. एंड जो लोग कुछ गिने चुने लोग रहते हैं जो ऐसे काम करते हैं, क्या उनके ऊपर किसी ने अगर कोई उंगली उठा दी या उनको बोला कि भाई क्यों, व्हाई, अननेसेसरीली ये सब करने की क्या जरूरत है? और फिर बाद में जब सिचुएशन खराब हो जाता है, फिर बुरा लगने से क्या फायदा? वो एक हिंदी में कहावत है, पीछ पछताए होत क्या जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. तो थोड़ा सा समझ जाइए, थोड़ा सा समझ जाइए, थोड़ा सा सोचिए. एंड अगेन, ना विदिशा जी बोल रही है ना मैं बोल रही हूँ कि कपड़े ढंग के पहनने चाहिए या कुछ ये करना चाहिए, मगर अपना सोच, हम लोगों को ये सोचना जरूरी है कि हमारा सोच जा कहाँ रहा है. What are we thinking about? And why is the crime rising? ये क्वेश्चन बार बार ये लीजिए. और जो डिफेंड करते हैं ना, इंडिफेंसिबल को जो डिफेंड करते हैं, मुझे उनसे सवाल पूछना है. When we get into a situation like this, then it is me too, and we name and shame the person, but then otherwise we just look the other way. So think, absolutely think. विक्टिम कार्ड खेलने से पहले, मी टू चिल्लाने से पहले, एंड मतलब जानबूझ के किसी और को फंसाने से पहले, आप लोग भी सोचिए कि आपका भी मैन इज अ सोशल एनिमल. हम लोग सोसाइटी में रहते हैं. आपका भी एक कर्तव्य है, आपका भी एक कर्तव्य है कि आप कैसा पेश कर रहे हो सोसाइटी को, आप क्या कर रहे हो, अपना भी सोचिए. दूसरों का तो बहुत आसान है सोचना, मगर आई थिंक इंट्रोस्पेक्शन इज मोर नीडेड. हाउ यू आर, एंड डोंट बी अ हिपोक्रेट. मेरा तो वही कहना है कि हिपोक्रेसी बहुत दिखता है, हर जगह पे दिखता है. तो इट्स टाइम कि हम, एंड मतलब उसका मतलब ये नहीं है दैट जब बोला जा रहा है गो बैक टू योर रूट्स, उसका मतलब ये नहीं है आपको बोल रहे हैं कि आप घूंघट लेके बैठो या कुछ ऐसा. रूट्स मतलब आप अपने आप को एनलाइटन करो, पढ़ो लिखो, अपना ब्रेन को डेवलप करो ना, ब्रेन की मॉडर्नाइजेशन करो, आंखों की क्यों.
Exactly. True. I keep this is exactly what I tell my daughter, that there is a time and age for everything. At this age, you're going to read this kind of books, watch this kind of movies. I said, of course, you will read a little erotic novel, but there is an age when the mind is mature enough to handle that. And I made it very clear to her. I said, there is an age for everything. I will not stop you. We will do it. Like there's an age to drink. There's an age for everything. So slowly, you read this now. You understand this now. As you grow up, you will do it at the right time, at the right place. I will not stop you.
Even we have gone through the Mills and Boons era, na?
Of course.
Mills and Boons to
but have you seen the Mills and No, but nowadays Mills and Boons, if you read one, you'll know what it is.
Oh, I have not read it for a very, very long time. I have not
No,
read
I
it for
happened to.
a very long time. But we
I
did go
read
through
one.
that phase, na? We did go through that
Huh.
phase. We did.
Yes, yes, Mills and Boons. Then there was Harold Robbins. Then there was everything. Hadley, James Hadley Chase. But there is an age for everything. There's an age for everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can't have a class 5 or a class 4 girl reading a Mills and Boons or a Harold Robin. That is not the age. That's not the
They
age
won't
to read
understand.
Shelley Shelley.
They won't understand.
Exactly.
And
that is
what
why
the takeaway will be wrong.
Exactly. And that is how so slowly the society gets eroded. You know, the values. When I say society, I mean the values. The values are very important. That holds a family together. That puts, you know, eventually these guys go up to be people who are suffering from depression. But to think how many of us suffer from depression while growing up, none of us did. Our parents, we don't. Big deal. Thoda depression hua to ice cream kha liye, meetha kha liye, pastry kha liye. You know, things like that. Listen to music. But these days, these kids are growing up because there is no, as you said, there's no connection to the roots. This is very important. You must know where you came from, where you belong. Then when you know that, you feel strong. It's like having a good foundation. You can't have a golden statue with clay feet.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'd rather have a clay statue with feet made of gold and iron so that it holds strongly on the ground. So that's what it is, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much. It's such a pleasure talking to you. And you know, मैं फिर से बोल रही हूँ, जो इन्होंने अभी बोला है ना, ये जो डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं, आप ऐसा कुछ करिए ही नहीं ना कि आप डिप्रेशन में जाते हो. एंड ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, हम लोगों का थोड़ा सा कभी मतलब वर्क प्रेशर हो गया या और भी फैमिली प्रेशर हो गया, कुछ हो गया, तो हम भी थोड़ा सा मूड ऑफ हमारा होता है, मगर हम आइसक्रीम खा के खुश हो जाते हैं. पर आप लोगों को साइकियाट्रिस्ट के पास जाना पड़ता है. ये भी सोचिए. It's a big issue. मतलब don't sweep it under the carpet. And I hope viewers, you will like it. And yeah, we will keep coming back. We will keep trying to hammer in the things which we think should change. And again, it is not a generalized statement. This is prevalent only in some spheres. ज्यादातर घरों में आप देखोगे बहुत अच्छे लोग रहते, बहुत अच्छा संस्कार है, एंड उन लोगों के घरों में टीवी वगैरह देखने में भी बंदिशें होती है. एंड उनको जो ये लिमिटेड जो लोग हैं, जो ये एडवर्टीजमेंट्स एंड ये मूवीज को कंट्रोल करते हैं, ये लोग बैठ के उनके ऊपर मॉरल छड़ी घुमाते हैं कि तुम लोग पीछे पड़ गए हो, तुम लोग पीछे हो, तुम लोग रिग्रेसिव हो. ऐसा नहीं है. लोगों को गुस्सा आता है, लोगों को अच्छे बुरे की तमीज है. आप अच्छा चीज दीजिए ना. अमूल भी है, एंड आप अगर देखेंगे तो रामायण भी है, और आप अगर देखेंगे एक शेरशाह मूवी भी है, आज का ही बना हुआ उरी भी है, आज का ही बना हुआ तानाजी भी है. तो चूज व्हाट इज राइट. जब आप अपनी चॉइस असर्टिवली डालेंगे ना, तो ये जो नॉनसेंस आ रही है, ये सारा धीरे धीरे बंद हो जाएगा. थैंक यू. एंड
थैंक यू. बाय.
अगर अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं. थैंक यू.